What's up, YouTube? This is Alex. Today's episode is going to be Sex Talk 101. I guess episode 42, the 40th episode of Sex Talk. Today is going to be called Sex with Women with Tattoos. Now, I made this video about 2 years ago, but this is like a part 2. And I have some updated information because some people might want some insight on what is the fascination of men being obsessed with women having tattoos. Usually if you go to tattoo parlors or golf clubs or bars, you usually see guys dating girls with tattoos. And one can make the argument that most men, not just me, but most men, when they're sexually frustrated, they'll try to go after women that is considered low class and just go after them because they're easy to smash. Well, I'm here to argue that that's not really the case. See, the men who bring this up are guys who think you should be dating women that's high class and middle class that don't have no tattoos, except for one problem. This isn't the 1970s or the 80s or the 90s anymore. This is the 2000s. And even if you go back to the 1970s and the 80s and the 1990s, you will notice that there's been a trend of women getting tattoos. Very slowly but maturely, you see women with lots of tattoos. Now, normally, you would say women from the age of 18 to 29 would just be getting tattoos. And by the time they got to their 30s, you would see them get tattoos less and less and less and cover them up because now they have kids, they got married, they have a family, and there's no point in getting tattoos, right? Wrong. Since social media has become the new boom in pop culture, all throughout the 2000s, now I have to extend the age. Women from the age of 18 to 35 years old have tattoos. And I'm not here to say that it's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm here to make a case that any man who thinks that if he gets with a woman that's in her late 20s, early 30s, doesn't have no tattoos and no piercings is going to be greatly mistaken. So this video is for men that are from the ages of 18 to 35. I decided to extend the age limit, because there's some men that believe that once they finally get a woman, after all the hard work of self-improvement has been finished, they naturally assume, okay, she ain't got no tattoos or no piercings, okay, life's good. And then if they see a tattoo on the back of the ass, or they see a tattoo on the arms or the legs, or they see a tattoo near the throat or on the chest or on the breast, then they start the bitching and the complaining because they can't believe that a woman would get these types of tattoos. Now, there's dragon tattoos, there's tiger tattoos, there's snake tattoos, there's tattoos of animated characters. There's tattoos of characters from movies and television shows. Especially in the golf subculture, there are some people that just love horror films. And I'm talking about Universal's monsters of horror films. Not characters like Jason Voorhees, Michael Myers, Chucky, or Freddy Krueger. Even though you might see tattoos of those horror characters, I'm talking about horror characters like Dracula, Lord of the Vampire, Bride of Frankenstein, Adam, the Invisible Man, the Sea Monster, horror characters like that. And the reason why some men find women with tattoos physically, sexually attractive is because it goes back to math and science. Now, when I say math and science, what I'm saying is whatever you find yourself physically, sexually attracted to, that's what you find yourself physically, sexually attracted to. So if you like women with tattoos, you like women with tattoos. Now, some men might say, what is the limit to how many women should have tattoos? Now, in my video from 2 years ago, I said if she has 2 to 3 tattoos, that's okay. But when it gets to like 4, 5, or 6 or 7 tattoos, that's a bit of a problem. There are cases where you got women that have anywhere from 5 to 10 tattoos, all over their arms and legs, their back. And this doesn't matter if the woman is high class, middle class, or low class. Now you're getting the case where you're seeing a lot of women that's middle class, with a middle class background, with tattoos. So now, if you open your mouth and you say something like, well, I'll just date a woman that's middle class, now it's wishful thinking because now middle class women got tattoos. Not just women that's low class. So you can no longer pick on women that's low class. Now you got a case where you're seeing women that's high class with tattoos, middle class with tattoos. And when the argument come up, well, the reason why these men go after women with tattoos and piercings is because they're easy to have sex and smash. I'm here to argue in the video that's not true. Because if you can get rejected by a woman that has no tattoos and no piercings, it's going to be just as bad getting rejected by a woman who has 3 tattoos, 5 tattoos, 10 tattoos. And if a man finds himself sexually drawn to a woman with tattoos, it's none of my business and it's none of your business if that man finds a woman with all these tattoos and piercings physically sexually attractive. Whatever turns that man on, turns that man on. Whatever turns that man off, turns that man off. As long as that man has a 9-to-5 job, pays his bills, his utilities, and as long as he files his taxes and be a good Samaritan in this country, it shouldn't matter who he decides to have sexual relations with. But you see, we have a small group of individuals who love to take a magnifying glass and magnify it 10 times to the 10th power because they feel like, oh, you should date above your standards. And society, or should I say people in society, are fucking hypocrites because even if a man raises his standard, then the problem with that is people will say, well, he's raising his standards too high. Who the hell he think he is? Then you get called arrogant because you think you're better than dating an average woman. Or if you lower your standards and people go, come on, man, have some self-respect for you. So it's like it's a double-edged sword. It's hypocrisy. You got a bunch of hypocrites running around trying to dictate a narrative when they have no business doing so. I'm just saying. Now, it doesn't matter if the woman is 300 pounds and she has 10 tattoos. If a man gets sexually turned on by a woman that's 300 pounds or 400 pounds with a bunch of tattoos and body piercings, then, oh well, ain't nothing we can do about that. The girl could be bald-headed, like Amber Rose, bald-headed, with a big butt and big titties, and whole body be filled with tattoos. If that man likes that, ain't nothing we can do about it. The woman could be 6 feet tall, with a bunch of tattoos. The woman could be 4'11". So to me, it really doesn't matter the height at all. It doesn't matter if it's a black woman, a white woman. What you're seeing is you're seeing about the vast majority, as in 80% of women have tattoos. And I don't see too many men bitching and complaining about it. You got some alpha male men that are dating women with tattoos. Now, yeah, there is a rule to the exception. You know, some men will accept 2 tattoos, 3, or might even say the limit is 5 tattoos, and anything past 5 tattoos is like, okay, now that's a problem. Then you have some guys that don't care how many tattoos women get. You got some women that have got 10 tattoos, and there are some extreme cases where they might have 12, maybe even 13 tattoos, and again, a man may not complain. As long as he gets laid, that's all he cares about. And you see, the reason why a man stops complaining about a woman's tattoos or body piercings is because if you make too much of an issue out of it, it goes into the category of you have an insecurity issue. That means you can't handle whatever a woman does to her body. You have an insecurity issue. Now, logically, women are not supposed to have tattoos, according to the Bible. I'm not trying to go holy Bible religious on you. I'm just saying, according to the Bible, only men should have tattoos. But let's get on that. And here's where the hypocrisy comes in. If a man gets tattoos so he can be accepted by a woman that has tattoos, usually if a guy tries to date a girl, you get a case where the girl's got all the tattoos and the piercings, and the man has no tattoos and piercings. Now that man might smoke, he might drink, he might do drugs, but tattoos he stays away from. And the argument with that is some people believe that men are scared to get tattoos when it's not true. You got professional basketball players and football players that have tattoos, baseball players, R&B singers, rappers, rock stars that have got tattoos. You know, some of these new age film directors have tattoos. You know, some of the bodybuilders or weightlifters at the gym have tattoos. So it's very common to see men find women physically, sexually attractive with a lot of tattoos. Now, a lot of times someone might say, but the girl's a slut. Well, what do you expect this man to do? Spend 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, or should I say 365 days a year, 7 days a week, and 24 hours a day, miserable for the rest of his life? It doesn't matter if it's 10 years later, 15, 20 years later. You get cases where you get women in their 20s and their 30s and they still have tattoos. And it seems like the older they get, the more tattoos they get. When you would normally say the older they get, the less tattoos they have. That's when I was a kid. When I was a kid, all throughout a woman's 20s, it was acceptable and okay to have tattoos. But as soon as they got 31, 32, 33, 34, 35 years old, you started to see less and less tattoos. When I was in junior high going into high school, it wasn't until I got into college that I saw women in their 30s get more and more tattoos, and I didn't see too many men bitch and complain about the tattoos. And I'm pretty sure you got some women in their late 30s, early 40s, and mid 50s with tattoos. So I don't think the trend of tattoos is going away no time soon. Now, some men that do not find women physically, sexually attractive with tattoos, unfortunately, it sucks because what I just said, you can run into a woman 300 pounds, 400 pounds with 5 to 10 tattoos, and most men will still smash the woman. You can get a woman that's bald headed, cut all her hair off and be bald headed, and her whole body be rid up with tattoos, and a man will still smash. Doesn't matter if the girl's 6 feet tall, 7 feet tall, 4'11". Don't matter if she's bald headed. Doesn't matter if she's fat. Doesn't matter if she's young or old. It doesn't matter if she's black, white, or mix of race. If the man gets turned on by that, oh well, it shouldn't bother me, it shouldn't bother you. But some men are going to be bothered by this because what I just said. According to the Bible, only men should have tattoos, not women. Now, I'm a victim of this too myself. I'm not perfect. I've got some flaws. I've found at least 8 or 9 women with tattoos and body piercings, and it's giving me the feeling that I want to smash. Now, I'm not saying you're not supposed to be a pervert and be sick like that. What I'm saying is I've been a victim of it. And when some guys get tattoos, people make it seem like the only reason why the man want to get a tattoo is to get the attention of a woman. Some men get tattoos. Some men don't like getting tattoos. Some men love women with tattoos. Some men hate and despise women with tattoos. But you can't deny the fact that the vast majority of women have a tattoo. Somewhere, whether you go to school, whether you go to work, whether you go to the gym or the movies, you're going to run into a woman 99.99% accurately with a tattoo. She may not have a tattoo. Her girlfriends might have tattoos. Her friends or co-workers might have tattoos. Somewhere in her family might have a tattoo. So you're bound to run into someone that doesn't have a tattoo. Now, you can have tattoos of animated characters. You can have tattoos of animals. Usually those are the best ones. Now, if you get a tattoo of a tiger or a dragon, then that's mythical. Now, if you get a tattoo of some ancient writing or your birth name, then I don't see what the problem is. But the reason why I'm making the video is because there's still some complaints on the internet that some men don't like seeing women with tattoos. And again, that just goes into male insecurity because that means you have a problem what a woman does to her body, good or bad. And by the end of the night, all you should care about is, do you get laid or not? See, if you get laid, you wouldn't care. If you didn't get laid, then I can see why you would make the case for it. Now, I don't want to make this video too long or too short, but I'm trying to explain the phenomenon. Unfortunately, the trend of tattoos is going to be around for a long time. and you got music that show influences of tattoos. So basically that's what this video's for. And then tomorrow on my day off, I'll return back to my music series. It's going to be 2 rock bands going against each other. I got to do the research. But like I said, in this video, the trend is not going to go away. So you have women from the age of 18 to 35 getting tattoos. And it's unfortunate that it's not going to go away no time soon. You can get a girl to have a tattoo of a Pokemon or a tattoo of Hello Kitty. So it's not going to go away no time soon. So for the guys that keep whining and complaining, it sucks. It's unfortunate. I don't know what to tell you. It's going to be rare trying to find a woman that does not have no tattoos. But no matter where you go in the city or in the state of this country, you're bound to run into someone with tattoos. And like I said, this trend's not going to stop. It could be 10 years later, 15 years later, it could be 20 years later. You'll still have women having tattoos. Now you're seeing a case where women from the age of 18 to 35 now have tattoos. And some men are not making an issue out of it, and some men do. So until then, peace.